Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about how to build a lead qualification system that filters out time wasters. And I know how annoying unqualified leads are to your time, to your whole offer. And so watch this video until the end so that you can find exactly how to actually solve this problem. So let me ask you, how many hours have you wasted on maybe clients who ghost you? Right? Or they ask for discounts or payment plans, or they're not even serious. Like seriously, tell me how much time have you wasted on these kinds of people? Because to be honest with you, unqualified leads they drain your energy, they sabotage your sales calls, and not just waste time, but make you hate your business because you're basically giving away the time that could be given to a more qualified prospect to a prospect that's not qualified, and you're not getting that time back because it's gone. Okay, once it's gone, it's gone. Right. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you my exact three-step system to filter out 90% of time wasters before they even get onto a conversation with you, because it's really important you do this. Because if you just keep the wrong people coming to your funnel, coming into your calendar, then those people are taking the time of people who are actually qualified. And by definition, you're losing an opportunity, right? So there's a cost to bringing on that unqualified person. And that's how you basically ruin your whole, economics, your whole funnel. Okay. So the reason why most coaches fail of qualifying leads is because number one, they focus on closing and not qualifying. But by the very nature of qualifying people, then you can also increase your close rates just by doing that. So they're just, turning sales calls into free consultation sessions, which do not just take people, to their places. The other reason is they don't have a red flags checklist. As much as you'd like to know what type of client you want to work with, you must be 100% clear with the person you do not want to work with, right? So, for example, you might say, "Hey, I don't want to work with people who ask for payment plans." I'm not going to judge anything about that, but that could be one of the criteria that you can use to filter out the bad people that you deem to be bad. Number 3 is that you rely on sales calls to qualify, which by the very nature, you're allowing yourself to waste time. Instead of automating the process of qualification, you, for some reason, want to do it live, which is a very poor use of your resource, most important resource, which is time. Okay, so step one to actually make sure that this problem does not occur anymore is you need to implement the no BS application form. Okay, why? Because it needs to force people to qualify themselves before they hop on a call. Okay, so you need some sort of type form that actually gets people to answer a couple of questions that you want to know, so that you can deem them yes they're qualified, no they're not qualified. For example, you can ask, hey, what's your number goal right now? Right? So you can use that question to filter vague answers from specific answers, right? So the more specific answers you get, the more serious that they are. Okay. Another question you might use is, what's your budget, right? Because you do not want to work, or you do not want to, you know, get someone who has no budget to a sales call that's going to probably ask him for a budget, right? So if they're under you know, a number that you deem is, fair to your price point, to your offer, you disqualify them. 3 is you might say, hey, are you ready to start in the next 7 or 14 days? That way you can make sure that they're committed and not just tire kickers, right? So I have actually a toolkit that actually has all these questions that you need to ask in what kind of order to actually make sure that qualification process is not flagged as qualification for them, right? So that they just feel like they're being um, qualified for their own sake, right? They're selling themselves basically. And also, I will reveal one pro tip you can use on qualification application forms at the end of this video. So stick around for that pro tip, because it could actually change a whole paradigm of the types of clients you're going to work with. Okay. Step number two is the 5-minute pre-call quiz, right? And the reason why this is important is because it psychologically primes people to commit. Okay. For example, you can send a 3 question quiz via email before the call, saying, "Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how urgent is solving your problem for you?" And you only book people who say yes, 8, or yes, 9. All right. Anything above 8. Or you can say, "Hey, what's the cost of not actually fixing this problem in 6 months?" Right? So you can actually get them to say, "Hey, yeah, this is serious for me," because you do not want to, you know, get on a conversation with someone who is not serious. Next thing you do is, "Hey, what's your preferred start date?" And the more urgent, the more immediate they are, the more hot or the more serious these people are. Right? So if any lead skips this process, you cancel the call. There's there's no there's nothing around that. Serious buyers will do the work and will answer these questions, and so that's also one of the best ways you can filter these kind of people. Step 3 is actually coming into the sales call, starting with the money talk discovery instead of, because a lot of people, they just want to, you know, sidestep this conversation by fearing, "Hey, I'm going to be, revealing too much, or I'm going to ask them that they're going to be revealing too much." But no, like if people are serious, they appreciate this kind of upfront uh, way of coming to into terms. And so the reason why this is important is because you need to stop selling and you just need to qualify. Right? And then you can use landmines in this qualification process and the discovery to see, on which landmines they're gonna step on, and when it blows, you just don't work with them. For example, you can say, "Hey, what's the number one thing you want to fix today?" Right? And by that, you can gauge what kind of urgency that they have right now in their lives. The other thing is you can say, "Hey, what have you tried before, and why didn't it work?" Right? So if people have tried things in the past, it shows you that they are action takers. They are people who try different things on their own, and they just don't wait on opportunities to actually. So this kind of like information is really important, because the lead who has this action taker attribute is much different from the lead that doesn't have. And so their success in your program is also going to be dependent on this trait. Another question you can ask is, "Hey, if I can guarantee X, Y, and Z result, what would that be worth for you?" And once they have committed to a number, then they're more qualified, or they're more aware of where they want to go. Right? So the red flags you need to watch on this process is if they won't share a budget, or if they're not an open book, they're just a time waster. Okay? If they blame others for their problems, or blame others for not getting to where they want to be, then they're probably going to blame you too when things do not go as well. So nightmare client. Right? So the pro tip that I was mentioning earlier was, you hide a trap question. Okay? Because the reason I'm bullish on this is because the quality of client is dependent on the mindset of the client. And so you want to know beforehand, before you sign them, what kind of mindset that they have. Because I don't know about you, but from my experience, mindset is 80-90% of all the result that someone gets on a program. And so if you can filter for that variable before you actually sign someone on, then there's a very high likelihood that they're going to be a success story once they're done with your program. And so ask questions like, "Hey, like, what's your biggest fear about investing in this?" Right? That seems like a very nonchalant question, but it's actually going to reveal to you what kind of mindset issues these people have, how many blockages that these people currently have. Okay? So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow to actually make sure that 90% of time wasters are eliminated from your calendars. So if you want to get this lead qualification toolkit for free, which includes the application form template, the pre-call quiz, and the discovery call script, DM me on Instagram at beamscales, and I'll share the link with you. If this was helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for bangers.